Unpacking perfectionism. My battle with the inner critic. Welcome to Mind Care Selfcare, a place where we grow together, heal together, and rise together. If you're new here, take a moment and hit that subscribe button. And if this message speaks to your heart, share it with someone you love, because mind care is truly self-care. Today we're stepping into a topic many struggle with but rarely talk about: unpacking perfectionism. Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, it's never quite good enough? That quiet voice in your mind, the one that points out every flaw, every mistake, every not enough, seems to grow louder with every step you take. If you're tired of chasing impossible standards, tired of living under the weight of perfection, tired of that inner critic whispering doubt and fear, then you're in the right place. Because today we're unpacking a battle that so many of us fight in silence. You see, I used to believe perfection was the goal. I thought that if I could just get everything exact, if I could avoid every mistake, if I could keep everyone impressed, then I would finally feel successful, finally feel worthy, finally feel at peace. But instead, perfectionism didn't free me, it burdened me. Every task felt like a mountain, every small slip felt like failure. And my inner critic, it was always there. Sometimes whispering, sometimes shouting, reminding me of everything I wasn't. If you've ever felt paralyzed by the fear of getting it wrong, if you've ever exhausted yourself trying to meet expectations, yours or someone else's, then I want you to know, you are not alone. But here's the good news. There is a better way. Imagine a life where good enough is actually good enough, where your worth isn't measured by flawless execution, where mistakes become lessons, not punishments, where your mind becomes a place of peace, not pressure. In this video, I'm pulling back the curtain on my own journey, my battle with perfectionism, my wrestle with the inner critic, and the practical strategies that help me finally quiet that demanding voice. We're going deeper than surface-level solutions. We're exploring the roots, the thoughts, the fears, the beliefs that keep us locked in perfectionism. And we're stepping into a path of freedom, because transformation begins in the mind. And today, you're not just watching a video, you're beginning a journey toward grace, toward self-compassion, toward living as your authentic, imperfect, powerful self. Your peace, your healing begins now. So take a breath. Let the pressure fall away for a moment. And let's begin this journey together. And remember, if this message speaks to you, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Mind Care is Self-Care, where we are unpacking perfectionism and battling the inner critic with truth, clarity, and compassion. There's a moment in every person's life when they look in the mirror, not just at their reflection, but at themselves, at their mind, at their heart, at the silent battles they fight every single day. And for me, one of the greatest battles I ever fought was not against a person, not against a circumstance, but against my own expectations, against perfectionism, against the inner critic that lived inside me, against the voice that told me I had to earn my worth instead of simply accepting I already had value. Today I'm opening up that part of my story not because it's easy, but because someone listening may finally breathe again when they realize they are not alone. This is not a lecture. This is not a performance. This is not a perfect message. This is real. This is raw. This is healing.
My journey. How it all began. Before I ever recognized I wrestled with perfectionism, I thought what I was doing was simply trying my best. I thought pushing myself beyond exhaustion was something successful people did. I thought stress was the fuel of greatness. I thought criticism, especially self-criticism, was discipline. I didn't realize that what I called effort was actually self-punishment. I didn't realize that what I called standards were actually chains. I didn't realize that what I called being responsible was actually me trying desperately to feel good enough. The childhood root. Growing up, you may have heard something similar. Do it right. You can do better than that. You got a 98, where's the other 2%? Stop crying, fix it. You should know better by now. No matter how small, no matter how subtle, those words became seeds planted deep inside my mind. And over time, they grew into an internal belief. My value comes from my performance. So I performed. Oh, I performed beautifully. I became the dependable one, the strong one, the one who never fell apart, the one who had it all together, the one people praised, admired, relied on, and trusted. But praise can be deceptive because praise for the mask still leaves the real you feeling unseen. Behind every compliment, I heard the unspoken expectation. Keep this up. Don't slip, don't fail, don't disappoint. And so, the story began, a story of trying to be everything, do everything, fix everything, all while slowly losing myself. 2. My battle with perfectionism. The war within. Let me tell you what perfectionism looks like from the inside, because someone listening is going to recognize themselves in these moments. A. Fear of starting. There were projects I never began, dreams I never pursued, opportunities I never reached for. Not because I was lazy, but because the fear of doing it imperfectly was stronger than the desire to try. I'd say things like, it's not the right time, I need more planning. I'll start when the conditions are better. I'm not ready. But underneath all of that was one truth. I was scared. Scared of not being enough, scared of being judged, scared of failing publicly. This is the reality for many perfectionists. It's not that we aim too high, it's that we're terrified of falling. B. Fear of mistakes. A simple mistake felt like a catastrophe. A small error felt like a major failure. A moment of weakness felt like proof I wasn't capable. I'd replay moments over and over in my mind, analyzing them like a crime scene. Why did I say that? Why didn't I speak up? Did I sound stupid? Did I embarrass myself? What will people think? It wasn't the world judging me. It was me judging myself more harshly than anyone else ever could. See the inner critic. The inner critic has a personality, a tone, a presence. It's the voice that says, you should have known better. No one else makes mistakes like you. You have to be perfect to be loved. If you mess this up, people will leave. You're the problem. That voice lived with me for years. It narrated everything. My choices, my behavior, my relationships, my achievements, my failures. No accomplishment could silence it for long. No praise was enough to drown it out. Because perfectionism is not fed by success, it is fed by insecurity. D. The physical cost. I carried the symptoms of perfectionism everywhere. Tight shoulders, racing heartbeat, constant tension in my stomach, sleepless nights, overthinking, anxiety, emotional exhaustion, chronic guilt, burnout. And yet, somehow, I still kept going. I still kept pushing. I still kept pretending I was okay. But deep down, my mind was tired, my spirit was weary, and my heart was begging for rest. 3. The practices that saved me. How I finally silenced the inner critic and reclaimed my peace. I'm not here to give you cliches. I'm not here to offer shallow advice. I'm here to share what truly changed me, what freed me, what brought peace back into my life. These aren't surface-level tips. They are deep heart practices, spiritual practices, life-changing practices. These are the practices that saved me, and they may save you or someone else today. Strategy 1. Learning to pause before you judge yourself. The inner critic always speaks first. It reacts. It doesn't reflect. So I began practicing a simple pause. Whenever the critic whispered, "Not enough, do more," "That wasn't good," I would stop and ask, is this truth or fear? Is this Yahweh's voice or my old wounds? Is this correction or condemnation? Most of the time, it wasn't truth speaking at all. It was habit. It was trauma. It was insecurity masquerading as accountability. This pause became a spiritual discipline, a way to filter my thoughts through the lens of grace. Because Yahweh doesn't speak to tear us down. He speaks to lift us up. Strategy 2. Embracing progress over perfection. Perfection demands completion. Yahweh celebrates progression. I began asking myself, what if the goal is not to be perfect but to become? Because Scripture teaches that Yahweh shapes us little by little, line upon line, step by step. He never asked anyone in his book to be flawless, only faithful. So I started celebrating small wins, writing one page, cleaning one corner, taking one step, making one improvement. Suddenly, life didn't feel like a mountain. It felt like a journey where every step mattered, every effort counted, every day held meaning. Progress is the antidote to perfectionism. It frees you to grow without demanding you to arrive. Strategy 3. Speaking to yourself the way Yahweh speaks to you. This was the hardest one, because we are often our harshest critics and our last source of compassion. But Yahweh's book says, life and death are in the power of the tongue. And that includes the tongue you use on yourself. So I began practicing affirmations rooted in truth. I am growing. I am learning. I am worthy of grace. Yahweh is patient with me, and I will be patient with myself. My value is not in perfection, but in purpose. I am becoming who Yahweh designed me to be. Slowly, the inner critic grew weaker. Not because it disappeared, but because the truth became louder. Strategy 4. I stopped believing every thought. Your mind produces thousands of thoughts a day. Many of them are simply habits, echoes of old fears, old criticism, old experiences. I used to believe every negative thought automatically. Now, I treat thoughts like visitors. Some can stay, some must leave. When the inner critic speaks, I ask, is this truth or is this fear? Just that one question can break the spell. Strategy 5. I started speaking to myself like someone I love. Most of us talk to ourselves in ways we would never talk to a friend. If a friend said, I messed up, you wouldn't say you're a failure. But we say that to ourselves. So I made a decision. I will talk to myself with kindness, with patience, with grace, because healing begins with the way you speak to your own soul. Strategy 6. I allowed myself to be human. I stopped chasing perfection and started embracing humanity. Humans make mistakes. Humans learn. Humans grow. Humans rest. Humans heal. Perfectionism demands flawlessness. Grace embraces growth. Growth felt like freedom. Strategy 7. I redefined failure. Failure used to mean you aren't enough. Now failure means you're learning. My life started changing the day I realized failure is not the opposite of success, it is part of success. Strategy 8. I practiced rest without guilt. Perfectionism tells you you must earn rest. But rest is not a reward. Rest is a requirement. I had to teach myself that my worth isn't tied to productivity. I am valuable even when I pause, even when I breathe, even when I simply exist. Strategy 9. I surrounded myself with voices that lifted me. We all need encouragers, truth tellers, safe people, people who don't demand perfection but welcome authenticity. Community heals what criticism wounds, and sometimes the people we need most are the ones who look at us and say, "You don't have to be perfect to be loved." Strategy 10. I gave myself permission to grow slowly. Healing is not instant. Change is not overnight. Progress isn't always visible. I learned to celebrate the small steps, the quiet wins, the gentle progress, the moments I was braver than yesterday. Because small growth is still growth. 4. The transformation, how my life changed. The day the inner critic lost its power was the day I understood this truth. I am worthy, simply because I exist, not because of performance, not because of perfection, not because of achievement, but because I am human, because I have purpose, because I am enough, even on days I don't feel like it. Life became lighter, breathing became easier, joy became possible, peace became natural. And for the first time in years, I finally feel free. If you are listening to this today and you have been battling perfectionism, and your inner critic has been louder than your inner peace, hear me. You deserve rest. You deserve compassion. You deserve grace. You deserve kindness, especially from yourself. You are not failing. You are healing. You are learning. You are becoming. You are growing. You are worth love without conditions and more aligned with the person Yahweh designed you to be. If this message spoke to your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs a reminder that they are enough, that peace is possible, and that healing is within reach. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel Mindcare is Selfcare, where we grow together, rise together, and renew our minds one truth at a time. Until next time, walk in grace, rest in peace, and remember, your mind matters, your healing matters, and you matter. Mindcare is self-care, and this is your safe place to grow.